5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. The rise of social media has transformed the way people consume information, communicate, and engage with the world. Among the many changes it has brought, one of the most significant is the emergence of social media journalists. These individuals use platforms like video sharing sites, image sharing networks, and microblogging services to report news, share opinions, and reach large audiences without being associated with traditional media organizations. While this development may appear to promote free speech and democratize journalism, the reality is that social media journalists often pose serious risks to society. Their practices can be harmful in multiple ways, including the spread of misinformation, lack of accountability, emotional manipulation, erosion of professional standards, and deepening of social divisions. One of the most pressing concerns regarding social media journalists is the widespread dissemination of false or misleading information. Unlike traditional journalists, who are trained to verify facts, consult multiple sources, and follow editorial guidelines, many social media journalists operate without any such checks. They often prioritize speed and sensationalism over accuracy. As a result, false narratives, rumors, and conspiracy theories spread rapidly across digital platforms, reaching millions of users within minutes. This flood of misinformation has the power to mislead the public, distort reality, and influence opinions based on falsehoods rather than facts. In times of crisis, such as natural disasters, public health emergencies, or political unrest, this can have especially dangerous consequences, causing panic, confusion, or even violence. Another harmful aspect of social media journalism is the absence of accountability. Traditional journalists work within a framework of ethical codes and are answerable to editors, press councils, and regulatory bodies. If they publish false or defamatory content, they can be sued, fined, or professionally sanctioned. In contrast, social media journalists often operate as individuals without any formal oversight. They can publish anything they wish and face few consequences, even if their content causes harm. Some even hide behind anonymous profiles, making it difficult to trace the origin of misleading or harmful content. This lack of responsibility not only damages public trust in media but also creates an environment where truth becomes secondary to virality. Emotional manipulation is another tactic commonly used by social media journalists to attract attention and build audiences. Instead of presenting balanced and objective news, they often craft stories designed to provoke strong emotions such as anger, fear, or outrage. By doing so, they ensure more engagement in the form of shares, likes, and comments. However, this emotional manipulation can have toxic effects on public discourse. It encourages a culture of reaction rather than reflection, where people are pushed to respond impulsively rather than think critically. Over time, this constant emotional stimulation can numb people to serious issues, promote cynicism, and create a deeply polarized society. The rise of social media journalists has also led to the erosion of professional journalistic standards. Investigative reporting, fact-checking, and in-depth analysis are time-consuming and resource-intensive. Traditional newsrooms invest in these processes to ensure quality journalism. Social media journalists, by contrast, often rely on hearsay, sensational headlines, and unverified content to stay relevant and competitive in the fast-paced digital environment. As more people turn to social media for news, the demand for quick and entertaining content increases, further pushing down the standards of journalism. This trend undermines the role of journalism as a public service aimed at informing citizens and holding power to account. Moreover, social media journalists often blur the line between news reporting and personal opinion. Many present their views as facts, using emotionally charged language and selective information to support their perspectives. This practice contributes to the spread of biased and one-sided narratives, reinforcing echo chambers where people are only exposed to viewpoints that confirm their existing beliefs. As a result, public dialogue becomes fragmented, with different groups operating on completely different sets of facts. This deepens social divisions, weakens the foundations of democracy, and makes it harder for societies to address shared challenges through collective understanding and cooperation. Another harmful effect of social media journalism is the glorification of individual personalities over issues. Many social media journalists position themselves as influencers or celebrities, focusing more on their personal brand than on the quality or impact of their reporting. This shift from content to personality reduces journalism to a form of entertainment where the messenger becomes more important than the message. Serious issues such as poverty, injustice, or climate change receive less attention compared to controversies, scandals, or viral trends that serve to boost personal popularity. As a result, the public's understanding of important topics becomes shallow and distorted. The influence of social media journalists also extends to political processes, often in harmful ways. With their large online followings, they can shape public opinion, amplify political propaganda, or even spread disinformation to manipulate election outcomes. Unlike professional political analysts who follow ethical guidelines, many social media journalists have hidden affiliations or personal interests that they do not disclose. They may promote certain candidates, parties, or ideologies while pretending to be neutral observers. Additionally, the unchecked power of social media journalists can endanger lives and reputations. In their rush to break stories or expose wrongdoing, some engage in online harassment, public shaming, where personal information is made public without consent. These actions can lead to threats, mental trauma, or even physical violence against individuals who have not been found guilty by any court of law. The absence of legal consequences or ethical restraint makes it easy for malicious actors to misuse their platforms to settle personal scores or spread hate. It is also worth noting that social media journalists are often driven by algorithms rather than public interest. The platforms they use reward content that is popular, not necessarily accurate or meaningful. As a result, there is a strong incentive to post controversial or divisive material that attracts attention, regardless of its truth or social impact. This system encourages the production of clickbait, fake news, and misleading content, all of which contribute to the pollution of the information space. Stop.